Hello, Paul here from Trekitt with Harry and Nellie and Margot. You probably can't see them, but you might hear them throughout the duration of this video. They're busy chewing sticks at the moment. And you may recognise this little spot that I'm sat on. This was this is where I did my Q&A. So it's just me and the camera and the dogs and my laptop with your questions on. So we're back, and this time Harry and I are going to go through 10 things that would make the perfect gift, or just 10 things that every outdoor enthusiast should have. And we're doing this not only because it's coming up to Christmas, you know, it's autumnal, it's wintry, and they're gifted eyes, but these are just really they're kind of 10 things that Harry and I went through, and we just thought, yeah, these are really useful little things that every outdoor enthusiast should have in their life. So let's make a start, and we'll go through them one by one, and yeah, see what you think. Okay, number one. So I feel like Tony Blackburn on Pot Pickers. Do 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 do. Anyway, number one. Should be starting at number 10, shouldn't I? Working down to number one, but there's no preference. It's just this is the first one we're doing, so this is number one. Anyway, I'm waffling. This is the Goal Zero USB rechargeable mini lantern. Now there are a plethora of USB rechargeable mini lanterns on the market, but we particularly like this one because it's got lots of really great features. It's really nicely made, and it's just a nice thing. So let's whip it out the box and have a look at it. Here it is. It's got little fold out legs like so that you can stand it up. Really great if you're cooking, you're kneeling on the floor, you're cooking outside your tent, you need a bit of light, it'll spread the light like that. You can also invert it and hang it that way up, should you so please. There is a metal hook on the top, so you could hang it up inside your tent as a lantern. You can fold the legs up to get them out of the way, hang it up nicely inside your tent. There is also a little loop on the top. You could run some accessory cord here, you could tie it up, you could even buy lots of them and create an array of beautiful LED rechargeable lightness. It feels really sturdy in the hand. It just feels nice and solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. It's not flimsy. It's just really well made. The guys at Goal Zero make some really good stuff, and this is just another good example of the quality. On the base you also get a magnet, so I don't know if you were having to change your spark plugs in your car on a dark night, you could clip this to the underside of the bonnet. If bonnets are made of steel nowadays, I don't know, maybe plastic, but it's not going to stick to that. But anyway, there's a magnet on the bottom for sticking to metal things. And the light is available either in half of it, so that's directional, or all of it to give you a nice round glow. So you've got a simple little dial on the front here, and if you turn it to the left or counterclockwise, that half of the light lights up. You see that? That half isn't, that half is. And then you can also adjust the brightness with the dial just by turning it like so, and then back to off. And then if you turn it clockwise, you get full 360-degree illumination. That is quite bright. I'm gonna look at that, Harry. And then you can turn it down again just by turning the little dial left or right according to your chosen luminosity. Charging it up, as the name implies, it's USB rechargeable. So here you've got a little built-in charging cable which wraps really neatly around the body of the lantern. And what I really like is the way that the head of the USB charging cable clips in, and there's a little magnet to keep that in place. So that's your standard USB charging port. And then on the outside here, in the middle of the dial, you notice there's another USB output, and you can plug your phone or other electronic device into here to charge it up from the battery that you have charged up in the lantern. Genius. So not only will it give you light, it'll charge up your mobile phone should you need to tweet about your fantastic outdoor nighttime cooking experience. Okay, number 2 pot pickers in our list of 10 useful things that every outdoor enthusiast should have. And it is something that's been around forever, and you don't really see a lot of, I don't know, a lot of marketing or a lot of pizzazz around these things. It's the humble boot bag. In this case, it's from the lovely people at Deuter, who have decided to make this one out of recycled fabric. So well done, Deuter. And yeah, it's got a big zip around the outside, and you pop your boots in. This particular bag will take up to EU 47, which is about a UK 12. So you've got nice easy access, big zip opening. Whop your muddy boots in there, like so. It's even got, sorry Harry, I probably put that out of shot then. It's even got a zipped ventilation panel on the front, so if your boots are really soggy and muddy and horrible, this will help them dry out if you're keeping them in the bag for a long period of time, although I wouldn't recommend that. And it's got a grab handle, so if you just need to grab your boots really quickly out of the boot of the car, which is generally where these bags are going to spend most of the time. And that's about it really. It's a really simple little thing. But when you think about it, most of us, well, me certainly, I traditionally would use either a carrier bag or, you know, one of them bag for lives that you get from various Scandinavian supermarkets, flat pack furniture people. But the problem with them is they've got a dirty, great big opening. And if you do like driving and you throw your car around a little bit, your boots invariably roll out of the bag and rattle around inside the boot of your car, distributing the muck and the wet and horrible all over your lovely clean boot. So, if you pop them in a boot bag, that isn't going to happen. They're going to stay inside here. All the muck is going to stay inside here. This is far easier to clean than the boot of your car. And it just makes storing your boots that much easier and keeps your car cleaner. It's just a really simple but eminently practical solution for keeping your boots stored and keeping your car clean. Okay, number 3 on our top 10 list of things that are useful for outdoor enthusiasts is the Gripmaster. Now this has been around for yonky donkey doodles. I remember when we had the Abergavenny shops, that must have been about 1989, 1990. I would habitually sit there waiting for the one customer a week to come in. It was when we first started Trekitt, and I used to sit there with my Gripmaster, flexing it like thus to strengthen my hands because I was an avid climber. It's just a really good thing, and it's not just for climbers. It's just a really good thing to keep those fingers strong, to keep your forearms strong, to keep your grip strong. Just a really useful thing. So it strengthens each individual finger. So it's like a little trumpet almost. Little sprung digit pads that you press up and down with each individual finger, sit it in the palm of your hand and crank away till you get hands like somebody who's got really strong hands. And they're available in 4 different flavours. So you can get a yellow one for extra light if you're feeling a bit fragile. You get the blue, which is kind of light resistance, which is why I can do it. You can get the red, which is medium tension, and the black, for you hardcore crimpers, is the heavy tension. Just a really useful little thing, and it's always good to keep your hands strong. You know, as you get old like me, your muscles weaken. So keep one of these in your pocket, keep it on your desk. Every time you find yourself with a couple of spare seconds, just give it a little flex, strengthen up your hands. That's me done. Right, let's move on to number 4 on our top 10 of must-have outdoor things. This is the Wildo Camp-A-Box Original. What is a Wildo Camp-A-Box Original, I hear you ask? Well, it's a complete eating, storing food device thing designed by those clever Swedes in Sweden. They know a thing about, you know, packing things up small, don't they? And this is no exception. It gives you a complete food storage culinary set that you can prepare food in, you can eat food from, and you can carry food around in. So it's got 7 things that pack up all neat and tidy. Comes out of the box like that, but you can use this as a lid to keep it all safe and secure. So the whole lot fits in a box like that, doesn't rattle around, which is really nice if it's inside your rucksack. So let's whip off the lid. There we go. So you get lid, which could double as a bowl. And if you've got something in your bowl, you need to eat it with something. So you get a sporky type device. So it's got a cutting edge, it's got some fork tines, and it's got a big bit for spoon, so you can chow down on your favourite nosh. It's got a little chopping board here. If you're into outdoor cuisine and you are cutting things up, for instance, there's a chopping board. And that's also got a little strainer section on it here. So you can put stuff inside one of the bowls, like your pasta, for instance, or your noodles, and then strain the water off. And then your cooked noodles are ready for preparation. Talking of preparation, you get a really neat little spice stroke condiment container here. So there are 3 compartments inside here, separate compartments. So you could put in salt, pepper, and I think I'd take chili. That would be my favourite 3rd condiment. Pop the lid on, like so, and then you've got a little opening section at the bottom, a little opener there, and you can shake out your chosen condiment onto your prepared noodles, which you have sieved from your bowl. Talking of bowls, here is bowl number 2. So bowl number 1 is also lid. Bowl number 2 is bowl. It's got a little cutaway in the corner here so you can hold it without burning your fingers or sticking your thumb in your aforementioned noodles. And you can use your aforementioned sporky device to nosh your noodles once you've put your chosen condiment on them. And you also get 2 collapsible mugs. So they pull up and then you just open these out like so. And that creates a nice little mug. Lovely. And there's a bigger one here, which also opens out. Not easy to do, but then again, you don't want it easy to do because you want it to be quite rigid, don't you, once you've kind of popped it open. And you could use that as another bowl. So effectively, you've either got a massive mug for like a load of coffee or soup, and then you've got your noodles in your bowl with your condiments. And then you could have, well, you could have a little tot of whiskey in that one, couldn't you? For pudding. There you go. The Wildo Camp-A-Box original. Brilliant. Moving on to number 5 in our top 10 things that people should have. It's a Fjallraven Gear Bag. We're continuing the Swedish theme from the Wildo original camp box. The lovely people at Fjallraven, I'm sure you know, are the manufacturers of the fabulous G1000 fabric, which is found right throughout the Fjallraven range. And this is a gear bag. This is a gear bag. They're available in lots of different sizes, and basically it's a little bag to put your gear in. Clues in the name. And why have we chosen it? It's just a really, really nice thing, and it's just super useful and versatile. Harry and I were literally just chatting about it because he was changing the battery on the camera. And he says he uses these for his camera stuff. So he's got cables in one, he's got batteries in another, he's got some lenses in them. He uses them for when he's packing his rucksack. He can put like t-shirts in one, underwear in another. He uses them as a wash kit. It's just one of those things that you think, oh, why on earth do I need a G1000 little bag to put things in? But until you start using them, you just won't realise how useful they are. I'm a massive fan of gear bags, basically. I would always use Exped fold bags to store my stuff in my rucksack when I'm going walking. And I do like to organise my stuff when I go travelling. So, you know, clothes, bits and pieces, stuff, you know, separate them out, and it makes packing so much easier. And they are particularly lovely. They are made from G1000 heavy duty, so they're going to last a very, very very, 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 very long time. You know, you could bequeath these to your nearest and dearest because they'll probably outlast you. Got a little zip at the top with a really nice leather zip pull. You've got the little lovely Fjallraven fox in leather on the side. You've got a little loop here, a little grab handle, a little tab on the side here to help when you're zipping up, like so. And then inside, you get two little slip pockets here, just open at the top like so, little organiser pockets, hide things in there. And on this side, you get a little zip pocket for things that you want to keep zipped up in a zip pocket inside your gear bag. It's just really nice. If, like me, you've got some of these, I've got 3. Murphy is a little bit too old to jump up here. He did try, but he had a little bit of an epic fail, so we won't make him do that again. But oh, thanks, Margot. Thanks a lot. This is Nelly, and if, like me, you've got dogs, this number 6 on the list of useful things in our top 10 of useful things that people should have that are useful in the outdoors is something that I'd not really thought about before, and I think it's a really useful bit of kit. It's a first aid kit for dogs. Now, I've been out, well, I go out every day with the dogs, and I've been out and they've had split paws, they've got ticks, they've got thorns embedded in them. Generally, it's problems around their feet or around their underside, you know, crashing around through the undergrowth. And, you know, it's sometimes having something like this would be really useful. Now, I can't open it up because it's a first aid kit and it's, you know, all supposed to be sterile and hygienic and all that kind of stuff. So it's got a little security seal on it, but I will read out the contents. You've got a sterile gauze dressing, 2 of them, 3 inches by 3 inches. You've got a sterile non-adherent dressing, you know, cuts and bruises, cuts and wounds, light wounds, that kind of thing. You've got a conforming gauze bandage, really handy. An irrigation syringe, you know, to rinse out their eyes. Ellie has a lot of problems with her eyes, she gets full of grit and stuff. Saline wound and eye wash to put in the irrigation syringe. Elastic bandage, self-adhering, triple antibiotic ointment, antiseptic wipes, alcohol swabs, sprains and strains. You've got a triangular bandage, you've got first aid manual, you've got a splint picker tick remover forceps, and you've got some hydrogen peroxide to induce vomiting should they eat something revolting and poisonous, as they do, don't you, Nellie? She particularly likes, well, no, I won't go into that because it's revolting. And then you've got some antihistamines if they get stung by a bee or a wasp or something like that. So a really, really handy little kit. We often take a first aid kit for ourselves, but we often neglect to think about our little 4-pawed friends, and something like that. Got everything you need going out for an extended trip or a long day out. Just look after your little furry friends. Okay, pot pickers, number 7 in our top 10 things of useful things for people that go out in the outdoors that might find useful. It is the Lifesystems Stormproof matches. Again, something that's been around for ages, but you just should have a pack of these in your rucksack because you never know when you're going to need to light a fire, light a stove. Oh, I don't know, it's just a really useful thing to have. They come in a nice tough screw top waterproof container, and you get a load of matches in there. I'm not going to count them, but you get a load. And you also get in a little bag here a spare striker strip, which is also on the outside of the pot. And the claim to fame about these matches, and I think why Harry wanted me to include them in our list, is not only are they really useful, but you can light them and then stick them in water and they will relight. And so I'm going to do it, all right? We're going to try it. We'll strike it on here first. So strike really easily. It's quite windy, as you can see. See the smoke? It's quite windy. I have a handy glass of water. Put it in and there you go. That's brilliant, isn't it? So you can submerge them in water, put them out, and they just keep going. Brilliant. Right, number 8 on our list of useful things that could be useful. Harry and I were just talking about this. It's the Kelty Bestie blanket. We both think that it has got a hideous name, but you kind of understand why, because it's going to become your best friend. For those of us who might be a little old now for wild camping and are not concerned quite so much about the amount of kit or the bulk of the kit that we take, the Bestie blanket is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's just it's a blanket, and who doesn't love a blanket? So it's made up with modern fibres. This is this particularly fetching green and brown. It's got a synthetic insulation. It's quilted. It's that big. That'll fit in, Harry? He's nodding. It's that big. And the nice thing about it is, if you sat on a cold wall, on a chilly day, making videos about things that you'd want to give to people maybe for Christmas, this would be on my list of things that I'd like. It's lovely, it's really cosy. You just sat around the campfire, you can throw it on, you can use it to give your sleeping bag system a little bit extra warmth. You can sit it on the ground, it's just something that's just really cozy and lovely and nice and warm. And it does work, Harry. I'm warming up. I hope I'm not smothering the mic, sorry. It's yeah, it's just really nice. It's a synthetically insulated. It's got a microfiber out. It's going to clean and wash and dry really easily. And yeah, it packs up relatively small. Stick it in the back of your car when you go car camping, or if you just want some luxury, stick it in your rucksack while you're wild camping. It's it's a small price to pay, that extra bit of weight and bulk, for some lovely coziness. How does that work then? Okay, pot pickers, number 9 on our useful list of useful things for useful people that could be useful in the outdoors is this really lovely, sweet little Yuko mini grill and fire pit, or fire pit. It's just a really neat little thing. You've got a little grill on here. You could get some sausages on there. You could probably get about 8 or 9 chipolata sausages on the top of there. You put your fuel in there, ideally some natural fuel like some wood and sticks and things. Pop your grill on the top, and there you go. Hey presto, cooking in the outdoors. And if you don't want to cook with it, just take the grill off and use it as a neat little fire pit. You could just imagine sitting around this at the end of the day, wrapped up in your lovely Kelty Bestie blanket, just watching the embers glow as you have a little tot of whiskey from your Wildo collapsible mug with your rechargeable lantern lighting the way back to the solace and tranquility of your boudoir. Okay, number 10 on our list of useful things. It's not really a useful thing, it's an essential thing. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this slightly tatty, dishevelled, and to be honest, a bit pongy jacket, it's because Harry wanted to demonstrate the effect of this Grangers Performance Repel Plus. And now this is a spray that you apply to the face fabric of your jacket to reinstate the DWR. So you all know what it's like when you get a lovely brand new waterproof jacket, you take it out in the rain all beads up, you shake it and it's dry. Now after a while, or through neglect, as in Harry's case, because he's freely admitted that he has mistreated this jacket very badly, and it doesn't bead up anymore, and he hasn't reproofed it, and it's just a bit tatty and a bit smelly. And we're going to spray it with the Grangers just to show you the difference. So we're going to wet it out first. Harry's going to spray me with the hose. We're then going to spray it with the Grangers Performance Repel Plus, and then we're going to tumble dry it, and then we're going to show you the difference. Now, reinstating the DWR is really, really important, isn't it, Harry? Yes, he's nodding. He's been very naughty and he hasn't been reproofing his jackets, because if you don't reproof your jacket, it just gets heavy with the water that it absorbs. It feels clammy, the breathability is reduced. It just feels uncomfortable and unpleasant to wear. So reproofing as part of your care maintenance package for your outdoor gear is really, really important, and we think this Grangers stuff is very, very good. So we're going to give it a try. So I'm going to get my hose pipe and we're going to drench the left hand sleeve of Harry's uncared for jacket so that it wets out, and then we're going to spray it with the Grangers stuff, and then we're going to tumble dry it, and we'll come back and see how well it beads. I'd say that was a big improvement. It's not wetting out half as much. I think if we actually cleaned it, we'd see a better result, but that is definitely beading up nicely. Okay, well that's it. Nellie's going to go and play with... Oh no, Murphy's just nicked his stick. Sorry, Nell. That's it. That's our little list of 10 really useful things that you could find useful when you're outdoors doing your stuff. To be fair, there are practically hundreds of things that are useful and would make great gifts in the outdoors. Harry will put a link through to the website. You can go and have a look at all the stuff that we do, but we just felt that was a good representation of 10 things that you would find useful and that might make an interesting little gift for those outdoor enthusiasts in your lives, seen as it's the festive time of year. So we're going to say cheerio. And thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, if you want any comments or questions, stick them in the box below. And hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon. You'll get notified of all our videos. So again, thanks very much for watching. Oh, Nellie's had enough. See you again soon, guys. Toodaloo.